Fiscal Court. You ready, Chris? Warren Fiscal Court, special call meeting Tuesday, July 12th, 2022. It's now called to order. Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter. Here. Esquire Young.
Here.
Esquire Payne.
Here.
Esquire Lawrence.
Here.
Esquire Gorman.
Here.
Esquire Cummings.
Here.
Okay. We're here for one reason only, and that's to receive a report and recommendation from Solid Waste Committee regarding negotiations of the Bowling Green exclusive solid waste franchise and to accept motions as may be necessary.
Good afternoon. As everybody knows, my name is Sean Alcott, counsel for Warren County for issues relating to solid waste and recycling. And I'm bringing the committee's report to the court this afternoon. As you all know, on June 24th, the committee reported to the court and recommended accepting Republic's proposal for the collection, transport, and disposal of residential solid waste inside the city of Bowling Green. A motion was made to accept that recommendation and authorized us to pursue with negotiation of a franchise agreement. Per the court's authorization, we began that process, circulating draft franchise agreements back and forth since that meeting's time. We're here to report today that despite our efforts, we have been unable to come to mutually agreeable terms. Given that we have not been able to reach mutually agreeable terms to a franchise agreement, it is now the committee comes to the court with a new recommendation, and that recommendation is to pursue negotiations of a franchise agreement with Scott Waste for the collection, transport, and disposal of residential solid waste within the city of Bowling Green. Their proposal was to provide weekly service for 1937, curbside service weekly from the residents with bulky and yard waste collection, and an 11% franchise fee. So that is the recommendation, new recommendation of the Solid Waste Committee to the court.
Okay. Do we have an agreement on all terms that were in the previous franchise and on all terms in regard to price and so forth?
Right, we have a draft franchise agreement that can be ready within, the next hour.
Okay.
Of what we propose.
Okay.
For Scott.
You have any questions, gentlemen?
I have lots. I have a lot of questions, a lot of issues. The recommendation from the committee wasn't unanimous. I want to make that for the record. I feel like some actions taken by Scott Waste has precipitated us to be in this position that we are today, with their letter sent to us about wanting to stop their collection of city services as of July 31st of this year. The shortness of that notice put us in a very difficult position because there's no way that Republic or any company could have services on the ground ready to go in 30 days. There were some assurances made by certain individuals of Republic that they could do that, but as of yet, we never reached any kind of a contractual agreement to make that to happen. So that's why we're where we're at today. It's because we've basically wasted 2 weeks now trying to get an agreement, and we have nothing in writing that states what they could do. And now the last email that was sent out said they could only have trash services available by August 31st, which means the city potentially would go through no service for 30 days, which is unacceptable. We cannot do that to our citizens of Warren County. We just can't do that. It's a public service, it's a public health issue. Therefore, although we were not unanimous in our agreement on the committee, we feel like the facts that are presented to us today, this is where we're at. And I will say, being first one, I'm not happy about this because their initial action is what caused this step to be where we are now. So now we're thinking about considering rewarding them with a multi-million-dollar contract over something that they forced the issue on in the first place. If they would have been a good corporate citizen, like they have been for 20-something years in our community, and run trash service through the end of August, then we probably wouldn't be having this conversation today. But we are where we are, and we have some disagreements, and I respect the healthiness of our discussions that we've had. But I understand that the committee ultimately had a due diligence to the court and to the citizens of Warren County to come out with a proposal, a recommendation, and at this point, the rest of the committee felt like this was our only option. And I'm still deeply concerned by the actions taken by Scott Waste to force this issue, and quite frankly, I'm concerned that they're going to live up to what they say they're going to do. But we'll see. I don't know that the recommendation came, and I'm sure it comes as a, at some point it's going to need a motion from somebody, but I don't like where we are, and I think we're rewarding somebody of a substantial financial contract, and by them forcing us to do what we're doing. So that's my 2 cents worth. I want to get it on the record, and I guess the rest of the court will decide what we want to do. But I'm not happy about it, and I'm also I'm very unhappy with how Republicans handle their issue up to this point. If they had stepped up the very first draft we sent them, and here's our contract and so forth, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. So there's equal amount of blame to go both sides. There is. But at the end of the day, solid waste collection is on the backs of us, and is our responsibility, and we can't shirk our responsibility. We have to provide solid waste pickup. Can't go 4 weeks without it. And at this point, with lack of other options, ultimately is where we're at. Anything to add, Doug?
I mean, it's a difficult position to be in, and I would just add that I appreciate the corporate citizenship of both Republic and Scott. They're both vital companies in Warren County, and we appreciate all the work they've done. We do feel like there's a sense of disappointment on the committee from a standpoint of not being able to accomplish what we need to accomplish. But at the end of the day, to Esquire Cummings' points, we are charged with having sanitation picked up, and we're going to do that and not do that. There'll be some changes to that. We're going to ensure from that standpoint, but I will say we're hopeful that everything is fruitful in the next conversations that we have, because we don't want to think past that. But I would like to get that on the record as well, so I appreciate all the comments and all the input from everyone that's been on the committee as well.
How long is this contract for now that we've went through this new renegotiation and whatnot? Is it X years?
As currently written, it is a 5-year term. There is an outside limit which caps renewals to a total of, nothing can be more than 20. But I'll tell the court that the draft agreement that I have drafted provides for early termination if services are not delivered in the manner in which the court finds acceptable. Performance is essential, and irregardless of who the franchisee is, everybody is judged on performance. As I explain to my kids, every day's a test. Guess what? Get used to it. We are all judged on performance. And I'll just say, what the committee came away with, and while, the views were not unanimous, the end result is that it was the view of the committee that it is in the public's best interest on all levels, considering all factors. And there are choices and options available, but this one they felt was the best choice at this point in time. Not to say, that's just where we came out on that. But, it is a 5-year term, but there is early termination options available if we are not satisfied with the performance of the franchisee.
Okay, do you want to read that aloud before I ask for someone to put that, or if you'll just restate that so that I can get the motion correct?
Okay. It is the recommendation of the committee, who has found that it's in the public's best interest to proceed with negotiating a franchise agreement for the collection, transport, and disposal of residential solid waste within the city of Bowling Green with Scott Waste Services
Okay,
At the dollar.
at $19.37 a month. That's curbside collection from each resident with weekly bulky item and yard waste collection, and an 11% franchise fee.
okay. And $19.37 a month is compared to the Republic price is about the same?
Less.
It's a little less.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so do I have a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion by
Tony will.
Squire Payne, second by Squire Gorman. Have a motion and a second. Further discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire McWhorter?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Gorman?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Motion passes. No other business to be brought before this body today. Have a motion to adjourn. Motion by Squire Lawrence and second by Squire Payne.